the spirit, our passion, our love. Little by little, the IIHF is bringing the game back. It is time to get back on the ice.
Labdien, dāmas un kungi! Esiet sveicināti Starptautiskās hokeja federācijas 2021. gada pasaules čempionāta hokeja spēlēs starp Kazahstānas un Somijas izlasēm. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 IIHF World Championship Ice Hockey game between Team Kazakhstan and Team Finland. linesmen are
Yuka Yellen, the 58-year-old behind the Finnish bench, just goes on winning, guided his team to golds at the 2011 and 2019 World Championship. Also won the gold medal for the Finns at the 2016 World Junior. So the Finns, who opened with a knee-knocking 2-1 win over the United States, will take on Kazakhstan, a 3-2 shootout winner over Latvia. That was just their second win, as we mentioned, in their last 33 games in the tournament. Their last victory came from Nigel Dawes' overtime winner in the 2016 tournament against Switzerland. That was Kazakhstan's last appearance at the top level of the championship.
So you wonder how they're feeling this morning. Probably pretty satisfied, probably pretty tired. They played that game late, got to turn around and step right into a very tough opponent in Finland.
And we saw this yesterday, Latvia coming off the emotional win over Canada. I don't want to say they let down yesterday, but certainly not the same urgency in their game.
And when you play Finland, you know you need to be on your game. The hallmark of the Finnish game is that they're so consistent. You know what you're going to get. You get the work, you get the system, the physical play, strong goaltending, and it's never easy against Finland. If you're not ready, they'll take advantage.
Kazakhstan goes back with Nikita Bayarkin in goal, who stopped the last 5 shots he faced in the shootout last night, and it's Henri Satari in goal for the Finns, the former Florida Panther. Finland all-time 3-0 against Kazakhstan at the World Championship, their last meeting in 2014. Kazakhstan has had to battle qualified in Division 1A in 2019 and of course had to wait an extra year to play in this tournament. The bulk of their players come from the KHL team. Barış Nursultan, that's 17 of the 26 players in their roster.
That's a great advantage in a tournament like this, where preparation has been abnormal. There's a familiarity built in to Kazakhstan's team.
Well, here's some North American sounding names. They've got 9 foreign-born players, 3 are Canadians, including defenseman Darren Dietz, who's out there now, number 44. He's the captain of Barış Nursultan. Loose puck scooped up by Sakko Menelainen. And the veteran Antila plays it in. Marco Antila, who will turn 36 during this tournament. One of 5 Finns who will celebrate a birthday during this World Championship. One of them, Jari Karjalainen, is having his birthday today. But there's a lot of guys who have been around a long time for the Finns. And they've got a pretty strong KHL presence as well. 10 of their 26 players play in the KHL.
Jokerit being the KHL, located in Finland, so that can play in your home country, but even be in the KHL.
Jesse Blacker, defenseman from Toronto, playing for Kazakhstan, scored the huge goal to tie it up last night, 12 seconds after Latvia had regained the lead. Loose at the sign of the goal, that's knocked away by Blacker. Back at the point, Ville Poka, hard shot, that goes wide. Blacker back with it. Spent 4 years in the OHL, won a Memorial Cup with the Windsor Spitfires. Brought in now by Savitsky. And Savitsky moved off the puck by Poka. Ville Poka, that lead pass chipped out by Turunen. Race for it now. Pekarinen had that taken away. Inala plays it around for Tony Sund. Finns took an early lead in the game against the United States and made it stand up.
Which is what they do. Their goaltender in the first game, Okanawa, was very solid as well. Especially early when the Americans carried the play in the first period, had some good chances. Were not able to get that first goal.
Inala drops that back, and that hard shot taken by Ruohoma goes off a stick, up and out of play.
There's going to be lots of work down here. Watch out. As Max Sidorenko, referee for Belarus. The hands down on the ice. Don't want to keep the hands away from the skates at all times. He's still shaking it off. Referees do a pretty good job of staying out of the way, but occasionally they do get tangled up. Oh, he gets hit with the puck right afterwards.
He's a magnet today.
So get me out of here. Go to the other corner.
Anton Lundell, Florida first-round pick, had that poked away, moved out by Arkady Shestakov for Kazakhstan. Ruohoma across for Salonen. And back to Ika Koivisto. And here's Salonen with it. Salonen, remember that gold medal winning team for the Finns in 2019. They've got 6 players back from that championship team, which authored a most unlikely championship script. There's where Max Sidorenko.
Here's the next one.
Off a stick.
Catches him up in the shoulder. Shake it off. Wakey, wakey. Game's on.
It's surprising when you think about it that officials don't get hit more.
Absolutely. The best part, though, is that when they do get bumped, the players get so angry with them. Like, how dare you possibly be out here and have a puck? Well, you shoot it right at me. What am I supposed to do?
Antila moves in with Bjornanen. Antila centering pass, and Bjornanen tapped that wide.
Great outlook pass from Oltsama, stretching all the way out to Antila.
Marco Antila, the captain of the Finnish team.
It's tough to miss out there. 6'8".
A beloved figure in Finland, even more so after his performance in 2019 at the World Championship.
The goals late in the quarter, semis, and finals for him.
All 4 goals he scored were in the medal round, and they were all big goals. Well, it's Salainen with a shot. And Boyarkin makes the save.
The Finns were able to win in 2019 with, here we go.
That pass knocked away, and a chance now for Mihalis, the coach's son. Nikita Mihalis had a couple of attempts in the shootout. Went 1-for-1, or 1-and-1, sorry.
Great to see his dad's reaction when he scored the first one. He was part coach, part proud, nervous dad watching him go. And that was a big win, as you mentioned. They hadn't won in a while. To get a win on the board against Latvia, that's a great start to their tournament.
It was interesting because the shootout winner was scored by Evgeny Romerov, and the shootout went 8 rounds. After the 5th round, you could use anyone you wanted. Romerov didn't go in the first 5.
Well, they had great success in the first 5, and then the guys who got to go second, I don't know if they were overthinking it or what, but they had some trouble, so went to a different look and eventually got the game winner. As you see, Antila trying to find a streaking, that's a good one-handed reach by Bjornanen. Gotta have this just hard enough to get there ahead of the check, and you can cut underneath it somehow with one hand. Easier said than done. You can talk to Sidney Crosby about that. Get it up in the air, get yourself a better chance to get it past the goaltender.
Romerov, number 88. Trying to bank that back down low. Starchenko, the captain, was waiting for that pass. Roman Starchenko also shot twice on the shootout. He's a longtime member of this Kazakh national hockey team. Loose puck in front, picked up. Idala backhand shot, that deflected wide. Now played high off the glass by Dietz. It deflected as it went out. Aaron Dietz.
Quick little forecheck chance for Finland there, excuse me. Gordon, get on the puck, bang around, and lead with the stick, follow with the body, and then Idala. Another quick stick. Tries to go back against the grain, and Boyarkin there, dragging his foot. And he'd like to try to open him up and find a 5-hole.
Got to hand to the Finns. Back-to-back games, a 4 o'clock local start. They had a morning skate at 8 a.m.
That is no good.
It was optional, but a lot of guys showed up.
That would not be part of my coaching protocol. At least the assistant coaches would handle it if I was ever the head guy. So I always kind of liked the 4 o'clock start scored because it was late enough in the day to have a normal morning, but too late for morning skates, you'd think.
Long shot by Lindbom, kicked out by Boyarkin.
And then you're done at 7 o'clock at night for the evening.
Like a lot of leagues, the KHL carried on this year, but the Kazakh domestic league was interrupted and then just went straight to the playoffs. Their national team was not together. They had a few sessions together, but not the normal they would have, as that lead pass is chipped ahead by Matvikov, and he took down Atiotama, or Mikko Koivisto rather, pretty hard. That shot blocked from Shevchenko. And then a Colson gets a drive away that goes off a leg and wide. Seppala bumped there by a Colson. Pass back across and walking right in. Great chance there for Sagadeyev. And Sattery got a hand on that. Back across the pass. This Sagadeyev. Dietz steps up. Darren Dietz had a big goal-scoring year in the KHL. 17 goals as a defenseman.
And you can see why when you watch him play. He's got the poise and the comfort, confidence to make plays, and an excellent shot.
Native of Medicine Hat, Alberta. That's knocked down. Mihalis in, shoots. That goes off a skate and bounced wide. We mentioned Nigel Dawes earlier, a legendary scorer in Kazakhstan. He's eligible to play this year, but elected not to with the long year. There's no relegation this year, so Dawes didn't feel perhaps the same urgency. 7 years in the KHL in Kazakhstan for Nigel Dawes, then moved on to play for some other KHL teams.
And you look at his, for a decade now, he's been amongst the leading goal scorers in the KHL. He's a consistent performer.
He had a great career for himself there.
Has he ever? And no matter where you're in the world, you spend a decade anywhere, you start putting down some roots.
That plays offside at the Finnish blue line. No score here in the first period of the 2021 World Hockey Championship. Gord Miller, Mike Johnson here at Arena Riga earlier today. Norway beat Italy 4-1 across the street. Slovakia beat Great Britain just 2-1. That game was
a nail biter.
Yeah.
Be great to see Great Britain make some inroads and become a more regular participant. They've been up in the top division for a long time prior to last 2019.
Their domestic league played. A number of players from other countries went over and played in it. There's a great pad stop on Pakarinen by Boyarkin. Starchenko up ahead, and Shin was muscled off the puck by Pakarinen. Olli Mata from the Los Angeles Kings up for Inla. Mata drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins, moved on to Chicago and now LA. As that's poked ahead by Shestakov. And the play's offside at the finish line.
I remember Pakarinen playing with the Edmonton Oilers, and very much of a physical guy and kind of a grinder, but it's amazing the skill these guys have. They don't always get to show it. They don't always get to play in that role in their brief appearances in the NHL if they don't have a long career there.
If you don't go in as a pedigreed player, like if you're not a first-round pick or a star going in, a lot of the times, Mike, you're just fighting to stay in the lineup.
Yeah, which means do whatever the coaches tell you to. It often involves bumping into people or playing defense.
And don't take chances.
And don't get scored against. When you watch over here, you're seeing him on the power play, making plays. Like, I didn't see that from him in the NHL for that very reason. He just probably didn't have the confidence or the role to do so.
We've talked about this before, Mike. When you see a fourth-line player in the NHL, chances are he was a big scorer somewhere in his career.
Virtually everybody was the best player on their team up until they were 14, 15, 20, whatever it might be.
Lundell, Ruahoma drops it back for Salonen, couldn't get a shot away. That's played away by Kirill Penyakov. Like a lot of the Kazakh players, Penyakov has played in a lot of lower division games in the IIHF tournaments. Starchenko, the captain's played in 10 tournaments below top division. Antila in shoots, and that's gloved by Boyarkin.
But they would approach those tournaments as serious as anything because they're trying to get back up to where they are now. And with that win in the first game, Yuri Michaelis has his team pretty well positioned. Now, there is no relegation again, as you mentioned, but to not finish last in the group is a primary objective of Kazakhstan.
Well, if you need, say, 8 points to get to the medal round, you got 2 against Latvia.
You got Italy and Norway coming up.
Sepala shoots, and that's gloved by Boyarkin.
You get 3 points for a win.
So could you get to 8 with regulation wins over Italy and Norway?
The math would check out. Yeah, absolutely could. Now, Norway will be a tougher challenge than the Italians, but we have seen some strange scores already in this tournament. Denmark beat Sweden for the first time. Latvia beat Canada for the first time. And Kazakhstan beat Latvia for the first time.
Right. From the point, Antila shoots. That floats wide again. Now, it's dependent year to year how many points you actually need to get to the medal round, but it's been as many as 12. But in a tournament like this that's so wide open,
you're going to have chopped up points and unusual losses and overtime games. And you've got 7 games to play, so probably 10 or 11, you'd have a pretty good chance.
You're thinking of famous Kazakh NHL players. A couple come to mind. Your former teammate, Nick Antropov. Evgeny Nabokov, the goaltender. Here's a shot taken by Curtis Volk. It goes off a stick, up and out. And this game still scoreless midway through the first. Face off in the finish zone. Curtis Volk, native of Medicine Hat, Alberta, steps in for the draw. Volk played for 4 years with his hometown team in the Western Hockey League, the Medicine Hat Tigers. And 4 years in the American League. He played 1 game in the NHL for Florida, November of 2017.
One is all that matters. NHL player. Amazing.
Mihalis moves in, knocked away by Ottoman as he poked that back. The play's offside at the finished blue line. And you would see normally that a game like this would be what Kazakhstan wants, to shorten the game, keep it close. But the Finns prosper in games like this.
Could not be more comfortable. Right in their wheelhouse. Not much going on. Low scoring, tie game.
They don't blow a lot of teams out.
No.
Well, you think, though, about their 2019 World Championship. They lost their last preliminary round game to Germany badly. They come back, tied the game up in the 3rd period, beat Sweden in overtime to win their quarterfinal. Then a 1-0 win over Russia in the semis. That long shot goes wide from Polka, and then they come back and beat Canada in the gold medal game. Jan play at the side of the goal, knocked down. Here's Mata with it. Only Mata gets muscled off the puck by Shalapov. And then Pakarinen back to pick it up.
The big star of the 2019 win was Kevin Lankinen in net.
The goaltender, yeah.
Who now plays goal for Chicago Blackhawks, and everyone knows a little bit better.
Holly Mata's got to go off the ice. His chin strap came undone. Lindbaum a shot that deflects wide, and right away the linesman warned him.
Marking him up. Yeah.
And he stayed in. That's a penalty.
Good. I think you can take your glove off and clip it back on if you want to. You don't have to change if you can fix it quickly. Yeah. But you might not be able to do it with your gloves on. You'd have to get your bare fingers out there to do it.
That's how dexterous you are.
That's how supple those new gloves are. They're all soft and like mittens.
Lundell, the gold medalist with Finland at the 2019 World Junior Championship, across for Lindbaum. Lundell was injured, not able to play in 2020. Came back and played for the Finns in the most recent World Junior Championship in Edmonton. Seppala slides it across. Koivisto in, shoots. That goes off a couple of skates and wide. Bjornanen drops it back to Seppala. For Bjornanen, a pile up in front of the Kazakh goal. Bjornanen shoots, and that goes through all those players and wide.
Well, you get Big Antilla posted up there, and that's a bit of a roadblock for everyone to work around.
Antilla moving back in again. So the 4 goals he scored at the 2019 Worlds, the tying goal against Sweden in the 3rd period, the only goal in the 1-0 win over Russia.
In the semis.
Yeah. The tying goal and the winning goal against Canada in the gold medal game.
That'd make for a good summer for him back home.
Maybe a good life.
Never buy a drink again.
Turunen, centering pass, and Ruotsalainen couldn't get a shot away. Turunen back on it. Point shot by Oliver Kaski. That deflected wide. Shots in the game are 9-0 in favor of the Finns, and now a hooking call will go against Jesse Blacker, and so Finland will get its first power play of the game.
This is an important part of a game plan when you're the dominant team in the offensive zone. To try to break down the defensive score, of course, but if not, draw penalties, put the defenders on their heels, make them reach and work, and Blacker get the stick up in the midsection. Karjalainen.
Finns only had 1 power play in their game against the United States. That's fired down the ice by Dietz, who plays the power play, kills penalties. There's a lot of minutes. He's played 13 NHL games for the Montreal Canadiens. Lundell drops it back. There's Contiola with it. Patrick Contiola returned to the Finnish League this year. Inola back for Sun. Contiola to Sun, back across. Inola, a hard shot off the outside of the goal. Koivisto, or Contiola rather, at age 36, the leading scorer and MVP in the Finnish League. Now Contiola's in the World Championship again for the first time since 2015.
2013, he won the MVP of this tournament.
Look out.
That's up into the
Turning
bench.
attempt was a rocket into the Kazakh bench.
And he did a lot of his damage on the power play. He posted up where Alex Ovechkin does, and was taking a lot of one-timers with great success back then. Even though he had a heavily tilted assist-to-goal ratio this past year. 41 assists in his 55 points. He can shoot it when need be.
Artur Ruotsalainen of the Buffalo Sabres steps in to take the draw. Limited action with Buffalo. He played just 17 games, but scored 5 times.
You got to figure there'll be opportunity there for him next year.
Kaski playing pitch and catch with Ruotsalainen. Now Kaski steps into that. That shot.
And no blade. He knocked the steel out.
The blade off the skate of Shevchenko. Now Shevchenko's trying to get off.
Well done on 1 foot.
Hops to the bench, gets some help there. And the Finns are hollering. A player reached the stick out from the bench to pull him in. Ruotsalainen feeds it across. That's theoretically too many men.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the spirit of trying to help a guy off as he's struggling there, but that is against the rules, absolutely. You can't pass sticks to each other. You can't pull guys off the ice. And it's not like he's in danger there of injury. He's just having trouble with his equipment.
You see that. Ruohoma tries to center it. Drops back to Ruotsalainen. Final seconds of the power play. Koski a shot. And Boyarkin knocks that away. I'm going to say being on the ice with one blade is not ideal.
It's far from it.
Ruohoma back around for Ruotsalainen. Blacker steps back on. Koski feeds it across. Sent back in front. And that was tipped wide by Turunen. Ruohoma. Tied up there by Makrikov. Get it up by Petuhov. The one thing about Yuri Mihalis, the Kazakh coach, he leans heavily on his top two lines and his top two D pairs. The ice time is tilted very heavily towards them. 4:07 to go here in the first period. There's still no score. Play was called there because the blade from Shevchenko's stick was still on the ice in the middle of the ice, so
they want him to fall
stepping
onto it. No players in neutral zone at that point. They're going to take a scoring chance away, so clean it up and get it off the ice for safety reasons. Sensible.
So just to be clear, if you have only one blade, you have to keep playing, but your blade can cause a stoppage in play.
Correct. But only when there's a scoring chance.
Remember Tuukka Rask's blade came off. I think it was a playoff game.
Yeah, he got scored against.
And he was so angry.
Against Tampa?
Yeah.
And I don't have any sympathy when the blades fall off because it's the choice you make to get the equipment advantage of a quick change. The reason they pop off now is you can have a little screwdriver, and instead of taking your skates to get sharpened, you just pop a new piece of steel in there, and they have a rack of extra steel on the bench. So you're making that choice, the convenience of not having to sharpen skates if you need to in the middle of a period, at the risk of them pouncing up. He didn't touch him, he didn't grab him. He reached out for them, but no one really.
He put his stick out and he grabbed it.
He didn't grab the stick on the way in. He just cruised past it.
Clever.
Let's dig this way. The same way if you break your stick with a one-piece stick. See, you want a better shot? You also get a shaft that breaks more frequently. No one blows the play dead when you don't have a stick.
Blacker moves in and shoots. Pad save by Sattery. And he'll hang on to that.
That would be Sattery's first touch of a save.
Yeah.
17 minutes into the first period. And finally, Kazakhstan able to put one in on him. And
I always say it's hard for goaltenders to play in a game like that. I'm thinking, I'm going to face one shot in 17 minutes. I can handle that.
You want to shoot one from the boards against me 17 minutes in? I mean, I think I'll take that over the alternative of getting peppered. But watch up the middle here. They've hit this play 3 times off defense zone draws.
Inola up ahead for Polka driving in. And Polka from a sharp angle at the side of the goal. And here's the hulking Victor Svedberg, 6'8", 240-pound defenseman.
I want Svedberg and Antia to battle in front of the net. Just watch the eclipse happen where the goalie can't see anything.
That'd be over 13 feet of net front battle. Inola heels back along the boards. Tried to throw that back in front. Kontiola couldn't get a shot away. And here is Starchenko, the Kazakh captain, across to Blacker. There was a controversial tying goal scored by Blacker. There was an icing call right after the center ice faceoff. Latvia thought it shouldn't have been icing, and in retrospect, it shouldn't have been. So the faceoff went back down to their zone, and Blacker scored.
Yeah, the Latvia bench was unjustifiably hot as a missed call led to Kazakhstan's tying goal, the overtime, and eventual shootout win. Take advantage of the breaks when you get them. You can add that to the reviewable situations in the game.
Lindell for Lindbaum.
He's gonna let that one slide right by.
Well,
no part of it.
I guess, you know.
If you're all about accuracy, you could, but
if you're about perfection, you'll never get that.
Right.
Oh, big hit there by Sund as he knocked down Panyukov. Dietz gloves that down, shovels that ahead, and Ruoholma picks it up now for Finland. Ruoholma plays for Novosibirsk in the KHL in Siberia, which will be the host city of the 2023 World Junior Championship.
Nice.
Koski. Throws that in the corner. Ruotsalainen picks it out. Ruotsalainen back for Ottama. Cross to Koski. Koski shoots, hits a leg in front, still loose there. That was in the equipment of Turunen. A couple of whacks and they try to knock it free.
Well, I don't blame Kazakhstan there. If it's tucked into Turunen's pants and he just stands up, they blow the whistle is one thing. But he's trying to drop it out in the slot. Well, then you got to go check him. And here's the big hit from Sund. He catches Panyukov. Deep him. Both skates off the ice as he pinches the top part of his body against the glass.
Ottama fires that back around and knocked down by Svedberg. Lead pass for Volk. If he is related to Gary Volk, it's be very distant. We're told he's not, but he is the great nephew of Kelly Rudy. Long-time NHL goaltender, broadcaster.
He runs in the blood, no doubt.
Yeah.
4 years at Medicine Hat. 2 of the seasons with 45 or more goals. Offensive player. Whether all these guys who are great scorers in junior or college, where they end up playing in places like Paris.
Alainen, wraparound try, and coming across is Boyarkin to knock that away. Karchenko up for Romerev. And I'll flip down the ice by Shevchenko. And time expires here. Finland with a decided edge in play outshoots Kazakhstan 14-1, but the game is scoreless after 20 minutes.
Pretty good game. First period for Boyarkin, keeping it scoreless, and yeah, both teams probably happy. Kazakhstan, that they're still tied, and Finland, knowing that they're carrying the play, eventually they feel they'll break down Kazakhstan and get the offense they need.
You're watching the 2021 World Hockey Championship from Riga, Latvia. Our first intermission is coming up.
with love, with our friends and families, technology that helps us to find joy. All those things that make life, and us human.
For the last 2 years, we had to pause the game that we love. But the love for the game has never died. Ice hockey is ours. Our endless spirit, our passion, our love. Little by little, the IIHF is bringing the game back. It is time to get back on the ice.
Игра состоит из множества моментов. Каждый момент приближает тебя к выигрышу. Ближе и ближе. Движение за движением. Касание за касанием. Момент за моментом. И победа.
Rezultāts pēc pirmās trešdaļas. Kazahstāna 0, Somija 0. Medina. Somija 14, Kazahstāna 1. Score after the first period. Team Kazakhstan 0, Team Finland.
Available on your smartphone in multiple languages. The 2021 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play. Skoda. Simply clever.
Stick on ice. Stick on ice. 9. Hook. Outside.
The game is in offense. Fast play.
The new ice hockey fan-gift payment card, powered by Transit.
Nikita Boyarkin faced 15 shots in that opening period, turns them all aside. Just one for Harry Satari. Now plays for Novosibirsk in the KHL as well. We mentioned that a good portion of these Finnish players do play in the KHL, 10 of them in all.
And for most teams in the dressing room between periods, coach would be telling you, stay patient if you're the Finnish coach. Stay patient, don't force it, stay with the game plan, but probably not something that the Finnish players need to be reminded of. This is what they do.
Back at the point, held by Koivisto. Plays that back around, and the man who had that shot, Lukov, trying to clear it back out. Koivisto backhands it back in. Here's Antila with it. Marco Antila playing in his 4th World Championship. Had that knocked away and swinging back to pick it up. Here's Menelainen. He's a gold medalist for the Finns in the 2014 World Junior Championship in Malmo, Sweden. They came back the next year, or 2 years later rather, won 2016. Both their gold medals in 14 and 16 were won on golden goals.
Golden goal in Sweden, that would feel good. The hockey rivalry between these two countries is feverish between Sweden and Finland.
Now walking out of the corner, a little backhand shot lifted there by Arttur Ruotsalainen.
Ruotsalainen got the right idea. Take it to the net, see what you can create. Got a little bit underneath the backhand. Finns starting the second the same way they played most of the first. Ice tilted down in the Kazakhstan end.
Well, the Finns you talked about have a habit of winning close games, and their first 3 World Junior gold medals were all won on golden goals. Nicholas Hagman, back in 1998, then it was a big defenseman from Buffalo, whose name just escaped me. Ristolainen.
Yeah.
Scored in 2014, and then Kasperi Kapanen in 2016.
Right. Kapanen, whose dad, Sammy, is here covering, who looks like he's 17. Sammy Kapanen.
Unbelievable.
It's a joke. I don't know what kind of makeup they got going on the TV for Finland.
Well, he played 12 years in the NHL, and there was almost nothing left of him by the time he finished. He was a really hard-nosed player who could skate all day.
Good player.
Really popular guy with his teammates in Hartford, Carolina, and Philadelphia. That shot gets through, and Boyarkin makes the stop.
His son Kasperi's having a pretty good playoff in Pittsburgh right now.
And Sammy's staying up and watching the games.
Is he trying to stay up? And
he likes the afternoon games a lot better.
Those are the afternoon games that start about 10 p.m. here, local time in Latvia.
Well, the West Coasters are tough. You either got to get up real early or stay up real late.
That's more of a get up early.
They're down the ice by Kazakhstan, and there's another face-off coming down to their zone.
And we've seen a willingness to do this from Kazakhstan. If you don't like your play, if you can't find a good outlet, they will just get it down the ice, get organized, take another face-off. They don't worry about, they don't force turnovers trying to make plays if they don't like it.
Lundell drops it back for Sund. Long wrist shot hit Dietz up high. And now Dietz and Salonen go after it. Dietz counters it back up. Spent 3 years in the Western League with the Saskatoon Blades. Was a Montreal 5th round pick in 2011. And we mentioned he got 13 games in with the Canadians.
He has clearly the puck skills to play. The foot speed, for whatever reason, I remember doing his games. There's only 13 of them, but I must have done a handful because I remember the name, I remember the player. And the foot speed maybe not quite what he needed it to be, but makes a lot of good passes. As a player, as a forward, the kind of defenseman you like to play with because he gets you the puck how you want it, where you want it, more often than not.
Remember Paul Correa coming back from the '02 Olympics in Salt Lake City and marveling at the passes from Scott Niedermeyer, Chris Pronger, Rob Blake, all those guys. And coming back to the NHL, and the first pass he got from a D-man hit him in the ribs from 20 feet.
That's, I mean, we can talk about all the different skills, but the ability to pass the puck out of trouble, into space, is what the best defenseman can do. And the new age, high-end defensemen, that's what they're good at. Moving the puck up the ice, their legs are what they're passing.
Kazakhstan probably wants some more offensive pressure here. The shots are 17-1, and yet here you are in the second period in a tie game.
Sagadayev again, our lefty player, taking righty face-offs.
He hooks his stick back, so it's...
Turns the stick upside down, holds it like a right-handed stick, so he can take it on his power side. He's pretty good at it in the first game.
Once saw Chris Chelios flip his stick over and
took a one-timer with it, yeah.
Drop back for Antila. Antila for Seppala. He apparently played 9 holes of golf lefty and then 9 holes righty.
Oh, Brian Hayes. I'm not sure which way he wants to play golf. That was a staple of Wayne Gretzky's warm-up for practice when he coached the Coyotes. He'd take the opposite stick and play a scrimmage so someone could score.
Come on.
And Mike Comrie would take my stick and he could shoot it better than I could. He was unbelievable as a lefty-righty. And I'd take his stick and I would just try not to hurt myself.
Ruotsalainen gains the line. Pulled down by a Colson. And Pavel Colson moves out ahead. Colson will play in Magnitogorsk in the KHL next year. Ruotsalainen takes the return pass and shoots, and the save is made by Boyarkin. Here's Blacker back with it. With Mihalis streaking ahead, Blacker jumps in. Kazakhstan changing. Blacker throws that towards the goal. Mihalis got a stick on it, but knocked it wide. Mihalis back on it. To Volk. Volk banks it back. Svedberg. Kazakh Guafa skating through the crease. And Savitsky plays it back in the corner. Blacker can't hold the line. Now it's loose at center ice. Blacker has it back. Throws that rink wide and scooped up by Volk. Yinala had that knocked away by Maklukov. 5 gone here in the second period. You got to think that Jukka Jalonen at some point would like to see his team blow somebody out in the tournament.
You got to be comfortable in the stress. You do it so many times and have success with it so many times, you probably are calmer than most would be.
Jalonen sends that rink wide. That pass is broken up.
Now,
Up now by Rimarev.
If you think if Finland had all their top players, they got some star forwards in the NHL. Sebastian Aho, Mikko Rantanen, Laine.
That plays offside. Yes, Puljujärvi
Järvi's had a nice year.
Good year in Edmonton.
It's not over yet.
Went back to the Finnish league last season and really refound his game.
Remember how you used to play when you were good. Is how I put it. You get you get your skill game coached out of you sometimes through confidence and through caution.
Sasha Barkov is...
Yeah, he's all right.
He's been called the most underrated player in the league so many times that
you can no longer be underrated when you make it 3 straight years as the most underrated.
It's like Ron Francis. At a certain point, you're not underrated anymore.
Now you're overrated.
Salonen. Lead pass. That's knocked away from Lindbaum.
Tampa, Florida is still nasty. We thought it would slow down after the first game. It hasn't stopped yet.
Sharp angle played around. Back at the point, Koivisto a long shot, and that's gloved by Boyarka. No score here in the second period of the 2021 World Hockey Championship. Back here in Riga, Latvia, day 3 of the 2021 World Hockey Championship. Kazakhstan and Finland are scoreless here in the second period. So are Sweden and Belarus. Earlier today at the Olympic Sports Center, Slovakia gritted out a 2-1 win over Great Britain.
Yeah, Sweden and Belarus are tied still.
Sweden lost to Denmark on the weekend. First time they've been beaten by the Danes.
In regulation.
Yeah. Antila sends that down. And you can argue all you want about who's here and who's not here. For the Latvians to beat Canada, for the Danes to beat Sweden, for Kazakhstan to beat Latvia. It matters. Off the inboards, that's knocked away. Scooped up by Menelanen, trying to center it. And Svedberg stepped into him. Menelanen back at the point for Kaski. Rossi goes to Otama. That shot swept away by Blacker. Loose in the corner now. Here's Svedberg with it. Up for a Kolzin. That pass from Sagadeev was knocked away. Sent back down to the finish zone. Otama. Oliver Kaski. Won a KHL championship with Omsk this year under head coach Bob Hartley, who's here with Latvia. Bank back in the corner. And kept alive by Mihalis. Now the return pass for Volk out of his reach from Savitsky. Volk back on it. Looks for Mihalis. And moved ahead neatly by Kaski, and the Finns break out 3-on-2. Arjalainen on his 29th birthday plays that back in the corner. Billy Polka with it. Savitsky for Volk. And the Kazakhs have a 3-on-2. Volk works in, has a look, and shoots from a sharp angle. Satri was half in the net and managed to keep that out.
Flunked him right off his helmet. I thought Volk skated himself into no man's land. But he head up looking for a pass, trying to find a lane, getting strung up by Olli Mata. And then, yeah, right off the shoulder, right off the side of the head. Seen a lot of goals go in. Shooters like to shoot this now, try to bank it off the goaltender's head, and that's not with a textbook save, but effective nonetheless. That's second of the night only. Make it 3.
Salapov a long shoot in. That's gloved down by Satari. Now Starchenko with a chance. That trickles down. And Satari hangs on to that.
The non-Finn in me feels the tension of dominating the game so much and it being tied. Where Kazakhstan now gets a couple looks, they get a crazy bounce, and a game where you should be winning by multiple goals, you're not. Clearly more skittish than the Finns.
Off the face-off win by Kontiola. Hoka plays at the center ice to Inola. Milan Starchenko, Inola centers it. Just missed the stick of Kontiola, who was tied up in the crease. Kontiola centering pass. Pekarinen back for Polka. Across to Mata with a long shot. That goes wide. Shalapov picks it up for Kazakhstan. Contiola drops that back. And Poka lead pass. Almost broken up there by Stepanenko. As he stepped up, Inola. The stick broke on him. And Inola makes his way off as it's kept back alive by Sun. Ruahoma. Is it taken away by Romarov with that mini stick, as you called it.
It is. He's short, the stick is short for him.
Salonen moves out ahead for Lindbaum. Lindbaum centers it, and Lindell couldn't get a stick on that. Ruahoma for Lindell, sends it across, and Blacker a good job to tick that away from the slot.
That was nice. He was engaged with 1-4, but also had his stick available to protect the seam. The defenseman stuck in back door.
That discarded stick still in the way. Lindell back with it. Katuhov trying to move that out. And now Blacker on the other side gets bumped there by Salonen. And the referee, getting Romasko from Russia, telling him to move it. To which I would always be tempted to say, I'm trying.
What do you think I'm trying to do over here? Pareko, the NHL refs, move it, move it. He replied, I don't want to. Having a conversation mid-scrum. Yeah, move it. I don't have to.
Here's Koivisto, long pass. Drop back to Antila, in shoots, kicked away by Boyarkin. Marco Antila back on it for Watsalainen. Centers it, Antila chips it, and Boyarkin makes a great stop there on the deflection. No score midway through the second period. .57 to go here in the second period. Still trying to pry this game open.
The best chance they had at Tien. It's a real contrast in Kazakhstan the way they play. It's very passive, sit back, right, until they get in a puck battle, and then they're fully engaged.
Ultima centers it, that's tipped on goal. And Boyarkin makes the point-blank save there on Karjalainen.
So it's like you think you have time, you think you have space because they give it to you, but as soon as you want to get to the spots where you need to go to score, then it becomes very tough.
Well, maybe because so many guys play in the KHL, that's very much the KHL style. Very low scoring, defensive on big ice. Kasky drops it back. Ultima. And then broken up by Shevchenko. Brought back in by Turunen. And Makikov plays it back in. There's only been one power play in the game. The shots are decidedly in favor of the Finns, but there's a quick chance. And that shot from point blank, taken by Shevchenko, was turned away. Ruotsalainen works in with Turunen. That centering pass missed Kasky. That might have been for Turunen.
Kasky trying to touch it over. A little too excited to move the stick before the puck got there.
Ruotsalainen lost the puck to Shevchenko. And Sagadeyev drops it back. Lukov plays it in. Savitsky held it for a moment. And now Mata has it back. Mata, the long lead pass for Kontiola. Pass too far for him. Icing called against the Finns. The shots in the game are 22-3 in favor of Finland.
Very lopsided, but in those 22 shots, how many good scoring chances has Finland really generated? 4 or 5?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. So while Boyorkin's been busy, it hasn't been dangerous in front of him.
Finland won that 2019 World Championship and outscored its competition 22-18. Remember, they beat Canada by 2 in the gold medal game.
They basically played all the other games essentially even for the tournament.
Hoka centers it. Pakarinen a shot, and Boyarkin the save on him, and Boyarkin's mask gets knocked off.
He got caught square in the helmet there. He's checking the jaw, make sure everything works.
Not a very old guy. Boyarkin's only 22 years of age. He was the goaltender for Kazakhstan when they qualified out of Division 1A for the top group of the World Junior Championship in 2018.
Yeah, good look at this one. There's the spot you want to shoot from.
Ouch.
And for the life of me, I never understand goalies who don't wear the plastic cheater that hangs down over their throat. Patrick Waugh, think of him, Marc-Andre Fleury. Pucks are coming 100 miles an hour. Tipped up into you, guys running around.
Shot deflected, and Boyarkin kicked that out.
Quick legs.
Playing in his first World Championship for Kazakhstan. He's been in the Kazakh domestic league since he was 16 years old. Romero sends it back in front. Starchenko couldn't get a shot away. Good look there for Kazakhstan. Now Ruoholma with it. Up for Lundell. Back at the point, Lindbaum winds and shoots. Save made, rebound. Oh, what a chance there for Lundell. He scores! Lundell in the second try pokes it in. And Finland takes the lead. We've got an injured player. Is Salonen slow to get to his feet?
I wonder if the initial shot coming in caught Salonen. And rebound over to Anton Lundell, who had an empty net. Hit the side of the net. Here comes the first shot. No, nothing there. This one should have gone in, but he misses it. Quick hands. That is nice as Starchenko gets his stick caught in the side of the net. Lundell, who's had a quiet couple games so far, finds a way to tuck it in.
There's a cross check by Svedberg that sent Salonen flying.
Here, we better look at it here. He's got guys sitting on him, standing all over him, but Lundell, still so young.
19.
First round pick by Florida, 12th overall last summer.
He had a big goal scoring year in the Finnish League this year. He had 16 goals in 26 games as a 19-year-old player.
And we know how good he looked at the World Juniors.
Very good.
And we know he was drafted very highly. And through 2 games, albeit against the American team is pretty good, and scrappy Kazakhstan team, he hasn't been around the puck very much. He hasn't had it on his stick, hasn't had a chance to make as many plays, but pretty good hands here on the second effort to tuck it in. Finally break the ice for Finland. 24th shot. First one past Boyarkin.
Took a while to break it open. Now a centering pass is tapped back at the point. Koivisto. Long shot, punched away by Boyarkin. Tons of close games in this tournament so far. As Boyarkin makes a stop on that. And at the Olympic Sports Center, still scoreless in the second period between Sweden and Belarus.
If you're one of the teams that is not, not one of the big 5, 6 teams in the world, and you see the other scores that are going on for the first few days, it's got to embolden you with confidence to think, oh, Denmark just beat Sweden. Canada just lost to Latvia. Like, if you're Norway going into the game, let's see what we can do here.
Ultima for Karjalainen. Tied up there by Dietz. Makhnoukov. Moves that ahead. Brought in by Shestakov. His pass was blocked. Kaski plays it back in the corner. Karjalainen plays it back around to Kaski to Ottama. National team veteran for Finland. Ottama plays it back down the ice. And Shevchenko goes back to pick it up. Shevchenko 6'5", 230 pounds.
Turnin is not.
Ottama backhands that towards the goal. He's moved ahead by Sagadeyev. Shevchenko tried to rush his way in, and Billy Polka stayed with him and knocked him off the puck. Brought in now by Dietz. Hacking at that was Sagadeyev, couldn't get a shot away. That was centering pass. Shevchenko with a shot, and that was blocked. And Pakarinen got in the way of that and took that shot flush.
Whistle blown on the glove pass, but that is a desperation effort by Pakarinen, and a good one.
1-0 Finland leads here in the second period. Year-old Anton Lundell, the youngest player on the Finnish team, has the only goal in this game so far. Makhnoukov up ahead for there's a penalty coming, and it's going to go to Finland. So with 4:23 to go in the second period, the veteran Petri Kontiola will go off, and Kazakhstan gets its first power play.
Hook to Kontiola as Kalis jumping down the slot, got to the middle of the ice and looking to pull the trigger. Kontiola just gets a stick over top of his. A little can opener. When you wedge it off the knee, one thing with the lift with one hand, but you can use the knee as leverage to spin it. The refs are going to call that every time.
Jukka Jalonen behind the Finnish bench for the 9th time at a major IIHF tournament. His previous 8 appearances, 4 medals, 3 of them gold. Bronze at the 2010 Olympics. That was a terrific effort by the Finns to win that one.
He does men's, junior as well, Olympics, does all the different tournaments.
Scored! Tipped in front by Panyukov. And on the power play, Kazakhstan has tied it.
Just like that, you draw a penalty, you make something happen, and a really nice Sedin high tip play. Designed and executed by Kazakhstan. Panyukov, the recipient of a good look from Michaelis. Present your stick, find some open ice, and in the middle, right in the middle of all 4 finished PKers. Got to get a head up. This pass has to be hard enough that you can redirect it, elevate it, and still maintain the pace of the shot. And Kalis puts it right where he needs to. And Yukov, nice little cut, and the tie game.
On the 6th shot of the game for Kazakhstan to 26 for Finland.
This is why I get skittish about close games you should be winning. One bad bounce, penalty, power play, whatever it might be.
Svedberg taps that back. Picked up by Blacker. Jesse Blacker spins back. Svedberg up for Shin. Starchenko, but that plays offside at the Finnish blue line.
And Yukov, another one of the many players from Barry's, plays there. And finding that play is all about spacing. He starts the play, moves the puck across, and keeping his stick loose as well. Don't get your stick on the ice too early where other players can want to tie it up. Keep it free and extricate it until it's time to make the tip.
Makukov up for a Colson. Sagadev digging for it. So 19 seconds is all it took on that power play for Kazakhstan. Now Dietz unloads, and through the traffic, Sathari makes the stop.
One of the first times we've heard Darren Dietz get involved in the offense from the wide spot. Oh, that got tipped on the way in as well. Like, Colson might have got a piece on the way in.
Face-off won by Bjornanen. Now a bouncing puck for Menelainen, and that plays offside.
I tell you what, Gord.
At the Kazakh blue line.
Kazakhs are going to get caught on a defensive zone win by Finland. They have run clean breakouts several times. They almost sprung a 2-on-1 there, catching the Kazakh defender trying to hold the blue line. It's set plays. They're really neatly done, whether it's the weak side winger cutting across the middle, and they're catching one of the Kazakh defensemen standing still. And if a forward doesn't pick up his guy one time, it's going to be a clean 2-on-1. They've been close 3 or 4 times in this game already.
Koivisto up ahead for Seppala. Well, Seppala in his first international tournament at any level for Finland, which is unusual.
Although you look at the teams coming up next, Canada, US, for the nightcap, a lot of guys who haven't played for their countries prior to this tournament.
Menelainen drops it back. Koivisto works in. Drops it back to Mata, side of the goal, and that shot by Koivisto was blocked by a sliding Stepenko. Now Poka, he shoots. That's deflected away. Boyarkin had lost his goal stick.
He caught the blade as he dropped it.
Then he had it upside down. Inala plays that back to Mata. Tees it up and shoots, and Boyarkin gets a piece of that, knocks it away. Shalapov cleared that out. Lifted down the ice gently by Mihalis. 2 to go here in the second period. Inala threads that pass ahead for Pakarinen. Eero Pakarinen. Wrists it back in deep. Ruotsalainen couldn't reach it. Now Starchenko picks it up. Away with Shin, who scored in that game against Latvia. Starchenko is shot. That deflects wide. Shin back on it. To Romerev. He and Starchenko crisscross. Svedberg with it. Back down to Romerev. Shin for Svedberg. Shin back with it. For Romerev. Pivots back on Koski. A wraparound try. And the stop is made by Sathari.
Well, you want to know the advantage of the short stick, Gord? There it is. In tight spaces, you can create some things. Watch how quickly he pulls this one back. Look how short that stick is. It's comically small. Sathari seals the bottom of the net.
Gary Curry used a very short stick.
Did he?
Yeah. Mario Lemieux, for his height, didn't use a very long stick.
I have one of Mario's stick in my house. I only
steal it from him?
No, I got it in the '87 Canada Cup. I was sitting beside the bench as a 12-year-old. He gave it to me after he scored in overtime in game 2.
Really?
Yeah.
You played against Mario, right?
I did, yeah. I got my first goal against the Pittsburgh Penguins and Mario Lemieux.
He probably asked for the stick back.
So, although he didn't ask for mine after that game, surprisingly.
Now Colson back with it as time winds down here in the second period. That pass missed to Colson. He's exhausted, and the face-off back down to the Kazakh end. You can call timeout after an icing under IHF rules. That will change. They're going to try to merge the IHF and NHL rule books to make them more uniform.
It's a good idea. Find the ones that work, and now the application of the rule book might not be the same, the standards, but
well, what'll be interesting, Mike, is do you keep 2 and 10 for contact with the head? It's automatic. Bjornen a shot that goes wide. Shalapov back with it. Shalapov out to center ice for a Colson. That's knocked down by Bjornen.
feels like we're going to get to that point at some point. I don't know if it's going to be in the next couple of years, but at some point.
I'm pretty sure the IHF won't make fighting just a 5-minute major.
True as well.
Time winding down here. Bjornen centered that. And the teams exchange goals here in the second period. It's 1-1 heading for the third.
Kazakhstan with a better period. 7 shots on goal. They scored 1 on the power play, took advantage of the rare opportunities they create, and find themselves in a ball game.
You're watching the 2021 World Hockey Championship from Riga, Latvia. Our second intermission is coming up.
Finland 12, the Kazakhstan 7.
Касание за касанием. Момент за моментом. И победа у тебя.
Kazakhstan wins, Suomi wins. Metrit avaatiin tuottavia periodaa. Suomi tiukasti.
Good checking, good. No, get up both. All good? Good checking, good. Watch the puck. Watch the puck. Let's go, move it. Good, good. Let's go. We're good. Marco, stand back. All good? Okay. Hey!
Harry Sathri has faced 8 shots, allowed 1 goal on a Kazakh power play. It's 1-1 heading for the third period.
Of course, if you're Kazakhstan before this game, we say, we'll give you a tie game heading to the third.
Yep.
Don't worry about the fact that you barely touched the puck in the offensive end. Don't worry about the fact that your goaltender's getting peppered. Would you take it? 100%.
All day, every day.
All day long. So they are in exactly the position they want to be in. Just like they were against Latvia. Can they figure out a way to get this over the finish line in some capacity, or just get it to extra time again? Every point you talk about you need 10 or 11, chip away, chip away. Who knows where you're going to get to?
The teams start this third period 5-on-5. There have only been 2 power plays in the game. Antila throws that towards the goal. That's knocked away. Antila with a long reach gathers it back up. And that sharp angle shot goes wide. Antila feeds it back to Seppala. Scooped up by Menelainen. That pass picked off. And then poked ahead by Sagadeyev. Sagadeyev swings back for it. Dietz spun Karjalainen around, throws it back down to the finish zone, and Hoka back with it. The shots were 15-1 in the first period, 13-7 in the second in favor of Finland.
Kazakhstan thinks they're getting back in the game. They got 7. Just a 2-to-1 ratio.
You know, they were obviously very defensive last night against Latvia as well.
Yep.
But they do take some chances. Talking to Sammy Kapanen, the Finnish broadcaster between periods, said this looks very much like a typical KHL game.
No wonder the goaltenders have such great numbers from the KHL.
Well, also you made the point earlier that big ice hockey is far more defensive than...
Your go-to move is to retreat to the middle. When in doubt, retreat.
Well, just play inside the face-off dots.
Pack it in, see what happens. Kazakhstan has done a nice job of that. Most of their players play in the KHL, and they're comfortable being passive until it's time to be aggressive.
Face-off won by Volk. Blacker plays it up along the boards, picked off by Inola. Ino thrown down by Blacker. And Jesse Blacker. Toronto native plays it out, knocked in by Volk. And back goes Contiola to pick it up. Centering pass for Kaska to be offside. Inola sends it back. There are, by the way, coaches' challenges here. Lead pass finds Ramirez. And Ramirez couldn't get a shot away. Rink wide pass picked up by Shin. Top line on the ice now for Kazakhstan. It's dropped back. And Starchenko, the captain, has it. Back for Dietz. Lead pass for Shin. And Shin's pass misses Ramirez, and that faceoff will come back down to the Kazakh zone.
Shin is not pleased with Ramirez not picking up that pass. He gave the hands up. What are you doing here? Coach echoing those sentiments. I like you seeing Yuri Mikhailiuk between.
So
he's always got that bemused look on his face. It's been great.
Amazing contrast, because on the other bench is Jukka Jalonen. I think I've probably broadcast 50 games he's coached in. I'm not sure he has teeth.
Stoic.
Very stoic by the Finnish bench. He does not get too high or too low. He's probably the perfect man to coach the Finnish national team. He is a legend in his country. He was inducted to the Finnish Hall of Fame 9 years ago.
He is acting right in character for you right now, though. Arms crossed.
Doesn't yell. Doesn't. Officials say he hardly says a word to them.
They would enjoy that.
He stares them down. He and Mike Babcock are the only 2 coaches in IIHF history who have won the World Junior and the World Championship.
Oh. No Swedish coaches ever done that?
Well, Sweden's only won 1 World.
I guess they're World Juniors, they don't.
They only won 1 World Junior in the last 40 years. Right? 81. So they've won 1 in 2011 since then.
Except they never lose the round robin games, the World Junior.
Probably 2012 World Junior. In Calgary, on the golden goal by Mika Zibanejad. But yeah. Back at the point, Svedberg, a hard shot, and that's kicked out by Sathari. Svedberg hit the pipe in the game against Latvia, loves to shoot it, steps up again. Colson spins that back. Blacker, a long shot, that got through. And Sathari makes the save on that. Here's Blacker back across. Svedberg shoots. That's blocked by Antila.
Svedberg and Antila in a race. I love it.
And Antila gets a step, shoots. save made by Boyarkin.
Well, transport truck's getting going.
I'm sure we need a slow-mo replay of that one, but
Pretty good by Antela. Accelerated out, stayed ahead, got a pretty good chance.
and speaking of Sweden, Belarus has just taken a 1-0 lead on them.
Why?
Now chance, and walking right in is Turunen. It's turned away by Boyarkin. The coach of the Swedish national junior team in 2012 was Roger Ronberg, who is now the head coach at Frölunda. Mihalis picks up the loose puck. He is elected not to coach many national teams. He's very happy in Frölunda. He's actually doing TV for this tournament for the Swedes. Turunen walks in and shoots, and Boyarkin gets a piece of that.
You wonder why more high-end coach like Ronberg, like Lonen, don't come over to North America.
It's interesting because at some point
they clearly know what they're doing.
Right.
And I do appreciate at times, Gord, language barrier can be a thing. You know, English is the national language of the NHL, and if it's not your first language, then communication might be difficult. But
you know, in shoots, that deflects just wide.
That's not the case for these guys. I'm surprised.
Well, the next international coach in the NHL, I would be willing to bet, will be a Swede. You know what? Back across to Otama. That shot deflects wide. Ricard Gronberg has a background in North America. He's played college hockey in North America, coached there.
Yeah, it's Gronberg. Gronberg's name maybe is someone that people could look at. That would make sense.
Sathary settles that down. 5 gone here in the third period. Belarus a 1-0 lead on Sweden in the other game. 2-1 Slovakia over Great Britain earlier today. Icing called against Finland.
A chance earlier, Jesse Blacker walks the line. And that's a nice tip. It's a great battle trying to control your body and still get a blade on the puck. You know, almost gets a fortunate bounce off the tip. The defender's stick just wide of the net. And we start getting down inside the final 10.
Now Blacker a shot that goes high and wide. Now you're talking about bounces and
yep. Penalties, bounces, pucks over glass, whatever.
Icing.
Chance, leave it to chance.
That centering pass goes through the crease. Here's Blacker with it. Blacker feeds it back across to Svedberg. To Blacker. Goes that towards the goal. That tipped. And Sathary makes the stop.
I think Savitsky knocked that one down. That's a the no call. That was definitely going to be an icing as Jesse Blacker went to the fast slow skate to make sure it got over the line. Another point shot. Blacker, he's just putting in the perfect height and velocity. Just drifting them in, not too hard. Easy to get a handle on. This one tipped down.
Oh, wow, that's a good save.
Squeeze that 5-hole tight.
That centering pass by Maklukov is knocked away, and Lundell moves in on Dietz. In comes Lundell, a centering pass, and Shevchenko gets in the way of that, and it drifts down to Boyarkin, who will hang on. 13:55 to go in the third, still tied at 1. 1-1 the score. Kazakhstan with a win over Latvia last night, just their second victory in their last 33 games of the World Championship. Both their wins came past regulation. An overtime win in 2016. Antila fires that high and wide, and the shootout win last night.
And somehow pull points out of Latvia, Finland to start their tournament. We would be looking at how does the math work to maybe get one of those 4 quarterfinal berths.
Koivisto, a shot that was blocked by a Kolzin. Analainen back in the corner for Antila, chips it there for Seppala. That's picked off. And that's swept down the ice by Shevchenko, and Koivisto nurses that into an icing back down to the Kazakh zone.
It's an art form. The fast, slow icing skate. You gotta have a lot of moving parts.
Michael, I've been in broadcasting for 38 years. I've made not working hard while looking to work hard my entire living.
You do a good job of it. Moving, bobbing the head around, shuffle the arms, just the legs just don't go anywhere.
Exactly. Look how hard I'm working.
There are guys that do that during the game too, in the actual game.
Turunen. Plays that to Karjalainen. Back at the point is Mata. Olli Mata flips that back in, and Dietz stepped in front of him. You'll see lots of Dietz here down the stretch for Kazakhstan.
You see during the last commercial break, Kazakhstan players have a little meeting. Dietz smiling, kind of laughing. It's nice to see them being able to enjoy a stressful moment. Everyone has their own style, of course, but being able to smile and embrace it.
Stepanenko moves in. That shot ramps off a stick. Up and out of play.
I think at some point it's supposed to be fun too. Even though you're going through the grind and you're doing your very best and it's very intense, you should be able to have a little fun with it. And Kazakhstan doing just that.
Well, Dietz, I mean, the stories he can tell about his travels in hockey.
And he's been all around the world.
Off the draw, back at the point, kept alive. Stepanenko has Enel in behind him, and Stepanenko stays with him. Defending on the big ice surface is something of an art. Angles are different. Contiola fires it in. And now Volk gathers it up. Ultima steps up. Chopped down the ice by Mihalis, and Kaski goes back once again. The Kazakhs called for icing.
Finland had won 65% or so of the faceoffs through 2 periods. Decided advantage in that area, and if you have to try to make them pay. They're going to keep icing the puck, tired legs out there, whether it's a chance or potentially drawing a penalty against the defending team.
Back at the point is Sun with a shot, knocked away by Boyarkin. At the other point, Lindbaum looks for Lindell. Now Salonen comes in, bumps there with Volk. Puck loose in front, that's thrown wide of the goal by Shalapov. Mihalis moves on with Savitsky. And now fires that in, and Kazakhstan can get in a much needed change here. 11:45 to go in the 3rd period. Out to center ice, Seppala has that slide by him.
We've praised the patience and comfort level in tight games of Finland. I just wonder in a game, they think they should win.
Antila moves in and shoots.
They had all more desperate to keep pushing up ice, and activating defensemen, whatever it might be to try to.
That pass from Romerov to Shin missed, and once again icing against Kazakhstan.
You mentioned Seppala. First time playing for the national team.
Plays for Kalpa Kuopio, north of Helsinki, and we talked about Sami Kapanen, and he owned that team for a long stretch. He's divested since then, become a player agent, but.
Is he Kasperi's agent?
If he's not, he soon will be. Bjornen Plays it back down to Antila. Starchenko trying to get around Antila, who just shielded him off.
He didn't even bother trying to work through the backside puck protection.
Like trying to get around an SUV. Now Koivisto with a long shot. That's deflected away. Bjornen gathers it up, try to center it. He was taken down. Koivisto back across. Antila holds and shoots. And Boyarkin makes the stop.
Needed that whistle. Antila used the big frame to protect the puck. And you get a sense of how much we're going to see Darren Dietz. We got 10 minutes left in this game. Played 18 of approximately 50. Should be good for another 5 or 6 down the stretch.
It's interesting, we can hear the players in the tunnel before they come out. Most of the conversation for Kazakhstan is in English.
Yeah. That is the...
There's a loose puck in front, and a great chance there for Karjalainen. Another chance, and this time turned away, and Karjalainen, the birthday boy, almost cashed the go-ahead goal there.
Broken play off a scrum draw. Good work by Roistalainen to turn it loose. Staying with it right here, pokes it off the stick of the defender, and
we're approaching the midway point of the third period in a 1-1 tie. Still 1-0 Belarus on Sweden. There's a breakaway now. Walking in, a little backhand shot. And Panyukov, who has the goal, turned away. Now Dietz winds and shoots, and Satri got hit by that shot. Not sure he saw it. Back come the Finns the other way. Karjalainen, he fires. And Boyarkin,
here we go.
Got a piece of that back and forth to go here. Savitsky, lead pass, and that shot by Shestakov. Turned away, but chance at both ends in a 1-1 tie. Past the midway point in the third period. It's a 1-1 tie between Kazakhstan and Finland. We say good morning wherever you're looking in across Canada and the United States on the NHL Network. Viewers globally tuning this in. Here's a quick chance. That's flipped wide by Kontiola. The more scoring chance in the last couple of minutes in the last half hour, and now that long shot gloved by Boyarkin.
He's open right up. As this great stretch look, Dietz right up the ice on the tape, and Yukov's in alone. He's got Tatarai down.
Did Polka get a piece of him here to kind of disrupt him a little bit?
Not really. I think, yeah, maybe, perhaps a little bit, but just pulled it out of his own reach, trying to beat him to the post. Wasn't really even looking to elevate that one, just kind of tuck it past him.
Face off again, controlled by the Finns. And that shot by Pakarinen knocked away. Mihalis tries to work in, gets around Kaski, but Pakarinen back to pick up the loose puck. That pass picked off by Volk, spins and shoots, put it high. A nasty giveaway by the Finns there, almost cost them. Otama, long lead pass on the tape of Salin, he shoots. Then Svedberg knocked that away. Shin to Romerev. Starchenko steps on, the Kazakh captain as Romerev tries to work in. Dietz poked that ahead. Romerev back for Dietz, has time, winds and shoots, and Ruohoma reached out and got a stick on that. Shin was knocked down behind the play. Ruohoma In for Salonen. Salonen in, spins, can't get a shot away. Lundell back with it. Now Lundell from a sharp angle. That's knocked away. Sund back with it now for Finland. The discarded stick gets in the way. Salonen. Tied up by Dietz. Throws that back at the point for Lindbaum. Back for Lundell, a long shot, and again through the traffic. The save is made by Boyarkin. Salonen got his stick up on Dietz there. And Starchenko came in to have a word.
Battling in front, you mentioned that bad look by Koski. Simple reverse to him. He's trying to find someone in the middle. And that is right on the tape of the wrong guy. Curtis Volk able to catch and release. That's not the up the middle of the ice pass you're looking for. Tie game, 8:18 left. Kazakhstan be facing a second overtime game in a row.
On back-to-back days. They played 3 sets of back-to-backs in the tournament.
At the short end of the schedule, that's for sure.
Koivisto keeps that alive. Stepanenko. Up the line, Koivisto plays it back for Seppala. For Bjorninen. Shalapov knocked him off the puck. Well, that pass misfired. The race for it, icing was waved off.
Good call though. Koivisto picked up his stick like he didn't want to play it. Right through his legs.
Seppala flips that down for the Finns. Blacker was careful there not to interfere. They call that very tightly here. On that chip in.
The extra little second that a lot of NHL players take to brush the guy off is not as tolerated.
Ruotsalainen hammered there by Blacker. Turunen plays it back in the corner. Blacker with a puck at his feet to the line but not out. Mata with a hard shot. That's just wide.
Sailed that one. Mata. Think of him having a particularly heavy shot. Got all that one.
Blacker around to the Colson. Up to center ice. Tapped back by Shevchenko. And that long shot by Romerev, or pardon me, Sagadeyev, is gloved by Saturi.
The mantra late in games when things get tight like this, especially when you're defending a lot like Kazakhstan is move your feet and move the puck. If you get caught standing still looking for someone to give it to, and it's just hard to pass the puck up the ice. If you start moving your feet, the passing options open up. You pass it more accurately, give yourself a chance to move the puck out of your own end as opposed to just shooting it away when you're standing still.
Koski up for Inala. Inala jumps in across the line, plays it across. Pakarinen shot, that's wide.
Yard sale for Mikhailis.
Lost his helmet and his stick. They're both lying there in the slot. Now, Inala shot that goes wide. Back at the point. Ultima, long shot, and now the goaltender, Boyarkin's lost his stick. Shin gives it back to him. Koski centers it, and that's hacked wide by Pakarinen. Ultima. The Contiola, that's ticked away by Savitsky. Salonen. Another stick knocked loose as Volk lost his. Someone butted the Kazakh sticks all of a sudden. Knocked down by Sun. Tony Sun spins back in the corner. Still with it, long shot. Hit a leg in front. Now it's knocked back to center ice. 5:45 to go in the third period. Sun works his way in, shoots, and Boyarkin gloves that, and they can now retrieve Mikhailis' equipment. 5:40 remains here in the third period, a 1-1 tie. Another nail biter here in Riga. 1-1 tie with 5:40 to go here in the third period. Finland's 1-0 after a 2-1 win over the United States. Kazakhstan is 1-0, but it's a 2-point win, a shootout victory over Latvia.
They still have Norway and Italy on their schedule.
That's knocked down by Stepanenko. Antila feeds it back for Mata. Only Mata moves away from Shevchenko. Shalapov up along the boards. And here's Mata back with it. Former London Knight Jr. Plays it back to Malinainen. And Mata back with it. Mata in across the line, but the play's offside.
Just keep packing it back, and trust your goaltender. Look at all the debris out there, and that one hit the elbow of Boyarkin.
Wow.
Just dribbled out. Now there's a stick on the ice, and Boyarkin's been good in this game, though.
And he was good last night.
36 shots on net for Finland, just 14 Kazakhstan.
Heinola. A pass missed Kontiola. Pakarinen. Back for Koski to Ottama. That shot was blocked.
That's Savitsky again. He has taken multiple shot blocks the last couple nights. Stinging.
That took a bite out of him. The same thing happened last night.
Sounded like it hit his laces as much as it hit his skates. And that's where it hurts the most, when you catch it on the laces.
Koski winds his way in. Fins are changing. Again, Volk lost his stick. Heinola back for Ottama. That shot got through the traffic. And Boyarkin squeezes that.
Savitsky still stinging. He lays out in front of Ottama for this one. And yep, right on the top of the laces. The side of the boots are so strong now, even if you don't have the plastic shot blockers in there, that they don't hurt quite the same, but the tongue is still soft.
Face off, not done fairly.
Might have to add one more second on the clock there. Yeah, that was quick. They're on it down. Working the scoreboard.
Now Dietz off the draw, plays it around. Koivisto keeps it alive for Finland, but it's knocked out by Shin. And a chance for Starchenko with Romerov trying to poke that puck ahead to him, but it's taken away by Ruohoma. Bukov plays that back down to the finish zone. Sund moves his way ahead, plays for Davos in the Swiss League. Sund heels back, throws that behind the goal for Lundell, chips it back in front. Salonen plays it across, and a chance there for Polka, and it's gloved by Boyarkin.
Good puck movement down low by Finland. Just the rolling puck out to Polka makes it a difficult shot. Puck support. It's a good look by Salonen to know that he's got wide open. Polka coming down the back door, just not able to square it up.
Antila wins the faceoff. Now spins and shoots. Boyarkin looking around, but he's got it.
He does not know where that one is. It's in between his pads as Jornanen trying to get to the front of the net. Battling with Stepanenko. Antila has had the puck an awful lot here in the third period. He's putting everything down in the front of the net. That long stick lift, not surprising he gets it there. Watch Boyarkin's never a good sign when your goaltender's checking right and left.
Right.
Means he doesn't have, I don't know if that one would have counted. Well, sitting on top of his pad there, you can see it sitting right by his right knee.
Volk won that face-off away from the much larger Antila. And Savitsky jumps in across the line. Savitsky shoots, and Sathari knocks that away. Savitsky kind of epitomizes what this Kazakh team is all about. He has played in 6 qualification tournaments for the under-18s or the World Junior.
do everything he can to make sure that his team puts their best foot forward in this one.
Kazakhstan has played in some recent World Juniors, 09, or pardon me, 18 and 19, they were relegated in their second appearance. They've been relegated in their last 5 appearances at the World Championship. Now, on the other side of the ice, Blacker's into it as he and Mata were tied up. Play continues, and that point shot punched away from Kaski. Now Mata fires, saved by Boyarkin. Loose puck in front, they battle away for it. Pakarinen turned away point blank, and again, and Boyarkin's got that. 3 great scoring chances for Finland. And now Svedberg's got a hold of Inala.
They're gonna get both of them, I think. Chances from the point again. And Boyarkin fighting through traffic, fighting off these rebounds. Blacker doesn't want to go out there, so Mata drifts it in. Try to follow this bouncing puck. It ends up sitting on top of his pad. And then Starchenko and Blacker clear everyone on out of there. He gets multiple cracks at it. Whereas the first one. And you think this one he might have a better look. He can elevate it, but Boyarkin fights him off twice. That is well done. And after that big scrum, there's got to be at least a couple.
So Svedberg and Inala will go. One for a cross check, one for roughing.
Now 4-on-4, 2:36 left, favors the team with the puck. Favors the team that has a bit more skill, and that's Finland.
The shots are 44-15.
So the structure of your defensive system, the strength in it is in numbers. So you start eliminating numbers and you open up more ice and space. Finland would have a better chance of scoring in 4-on-4 than 5-on-5.
Koski back to pick it up for Ottama. So 4-on-4 for basically the rest of this third period. Koski stripped of the puck. Now is played back by Shestakov. And across to Dietz. That's it for Shestakov. He's knocked down by Ruohoma. Now Dietz back across to his partner, Maklukov. Shestakov spins back. Kazakhstan changing its D as Blacker comes on. Inside 2 to go in the third period. Koski back for it. And the difference between a regulation win and an overtime win is significant. The 1-point difference could be a huge one. Sun winds across the top. That was right on the line. Sun keeps it alive. Pakarinen. Back for Sun. Across to Koivisto. And that pass drew Sund out. Bjorninen. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4.
Try to sneak a change on him and get Montiola popping off the bench.
In comes Polka. Billy Polka moves out ahead. A centering pass that was blocked on a good defensive play by Maklukov. So they come right back with Dietz and Maklukov. Montiola winds in, drops it back. Polka back in front. Boyarkin knocked that away and rebound. Pakarinen got a shot away, and Boyarkin's got it. The teams are back to 5-on-5 as Svedberg and Inala step out.
Very conservative 4-on-4 play. Both teams locking in the 1 point, it looks like. Not going to risk anything.
But you know the point.
Timeout coming up here.
Kazakhstan. One less point for an overtime win than a regulation win can be the difference between a easier quarterfinal opponent. It can also be the difference between making the medal round and not.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know how the rest of it week is going to play out. You need every point you can get a handle on. But yeah, if you finish 3rd or 4th and all of a sudden you're playing Russia or you're playing Switzerland, Canada, US, the traditionally strong teams, as opposed to if you're able to finish first, it does really clean up your path, usually, to the semifinals. This year might be a little bit different though, Gord. We might see some surprisingly strong countries in 3rd and 4th place.
So 35 seconds to go. The face-off in the Kazakh zone.
Belarus currently beating Sweden 1-0. Leading Sweden 1-0. Still.
Sweden's already lost to Denmark. Bjornen, the best face-off man for Finland. Up against Sagadeev. And Bjornen won that cleanly, but back to center ice. 30 seconds to go in the third period. Koivisto for Bjornen. Back goes Svedberg for it. Manalainen back for Koivisto. Plays it back around. Here's Blacker waiting for it. Blacker for Sagadeev. That was knocked away. Blacker's second try out to center ice. That's knocked down by Bjornen. Colson on it. So both these teams will add to their point total as this game goes to overtime. Kazakhstan has 3 now. Finland 4, and they'll play for the extra one in OT or a shootout. Extra time coming at the 2021 World Hockey Championship. So for the second straight night, Kazakhstan goes to overtime. They had a power play in OT last night against Latvia. Didn't score on that. They had some chances, but they won the game in an 8-round shootout.
Rules are 5 minutes, 3-on-3, similar to the NHL. If it gets to a shootout, it's a 5-round shootout, not a 3-round.
Right.
So that is a little bit different.
Now, it's still tied after that, which is what happened last night. You can start using players over again as many times as you want.
So still got a few minutes to get to that point, but we'll see if anyone activates, or do they still both teams play cautiously in 3-on-3, Gord? Because at the 4-on-4, not much happened.
We welcome those of you who are watching Sweden-Belarus, another history-making game. Belarus beat Sweden for the first time at the World Hockey Championship. The fourth time a team in this tournament has recorded its first ever victory over an opponent.
Knock off every never-beaten record in this tournament available. We're only 3 days in.
So 3-on-3 in overtime. Mata along with Lundell and Ruohoma. Ruoholma works in, has some room. Gets around the Colson, drops it back for Mata. Mata, back for Lundell. Anton Lundell chips it there for Mata. Down to Ruoholma. Walks out of the corner, drops it back. Lundell works in, shoots, and Boyark got a piece of that. There's Lundell back with it. Lundell moving in on Blacker, heels back. Ruoholma in on Shevchenko, drops it off for Mata. Centering pass just out of the reach of Ruoholma. Finns own the puck here in overtime. Blacker directing traffic as the Finns will now try to get a change in as Ruoholma works back, and now the Kazakhs will change as well.
In your own end 3-on-3, it's almost exclusively man-on-man. You cannot be calling for switches, not enough time.
Inala. Poke check there by Mihalis. And Volk back on it. Cross ice pass to Mihalis. He's got Dietz with him. In comes Mihalis. Walks in, holds, waits, and shoots. That's off the stick of Sund. Up and out of play, and the face-off will be in the Finnish zone.
Great idea by Mihalis there. Yeah, Dietz driving the net, but the 2-on-1 became a 2-on-2, so he tried to create a little lateral movement. And a shot with traffic. Good decision not to force a pass through. Sund does a pretty good job on the pivot. Getting the stick in front of that one.
Sagadea for the face-off against Bjornen, who is Finland's best.
Snapping them back right now.
Hoka for Bjornen. Menelainen, the other forward out there for Finland. In comes Menelainen, gets a step. Sarchenko fell, and the pass gets away from Polka and back to center ice. Lead pass for Bjornen. Menelainen goes off, and Salonen comes back on for the Finns. 2 gone in the overtime period. Koivisto for Antila. Antila comes jumping on, works in, shoots, goes off a leg. Koivisto picks it up. Back down for Salonen. That's picked off by Mihalis. He's got Falk steaming ahead. In comes Mihalis. Mihalis pivots back in the corner, still holds it. Drops it off to Volk. Volk to Dietz. Dietz in for Volk. Leaves it there for Mihalis. He pivots back. At the point is Dietz. Leaves it there for Mihalis. He's got some room. Winds in, drops it off to Volk. Volk with a long shot, and Sathari steers that away.
You want to try to isolate Antila. I know he's a decent skater, but make him stop and start. He's so much bigger than Volk or Mihalis. I think they'd have a chance to break him down.
Players from Team USA and Team Canada watching from the entryways. As Pakarinen moves in and shoots, it goes off the leg of Shinnon wide. Now picked up Pakarinen. Crisscrossing there with Ruotsalainen. Pakarinen in the corner for Mata. That pass knocked away and scooped up by Romero. Romero is 5'9", and Svedberg a foot taller on the blue line. Shin had that puck at his feet, couldn't find it for a moment. Now Mata knocks that away. Romero back for Svedberg, and Kazakhstan will change again, as will the Finns. Minute 15 to go in overtime. Now a quick chance there for Shevchenko. That deflects wide. Colson centers it. Shevchenko alone in front. Poke checked away by Sathari. Now Shevchenko back with it. Throws that back to Blacker. Jesse Blacker moves in inside a minute to go in overtime. Blacker walks back in and shoots it in the leg. Blacker gathers it back up. Winds and fires. He pounded that wide. 45 seconds to go in the overtime. Shevchenko walks back in, a backhand shot stopped by Sathari. Puck still loose. Shevchenko throws it back, but it's a 2-on-1 for Finland. Ruoholma for Lundell. Blacker back defending, thrown back in front. Backhand shot by Ruoholma. And Boyarkin held that long enough to get a whistle.
There's some tired players on the ice right now on both sides. Finland was running out of gas, long counterattack. Liddell, that's a pretty good sauce to get all the way over. But Boyarkin able to track it down. And Shevchenko, if he could have just handled the first one clean off the skate, would have a much better look. Flying all around the crease. Finish end.
Bjorn wins another face-off.
Zone clearance every time he does.
Starchenko, 20 seconds to go in overtime. Starchenko drops it off. Quick chance fired high by Sagadeev. Starchenko keeps it alive. 10 seconds to go in overtime. And Sagadeev was diving for it. Tangles there with Polka. That was close to interference there.
Well, you take that penalty if you have to. 5 seconds left, tackle him. Don't let him skate by you and create a 2-on-1.
And so for the second straight game, Kazakhstan will go to a shootout.
We're obviously comfortable with this one, as you see. Yuri Mikhailis, just like we did last night, boys. We'll see if he goes to the same 5 guys. You know, Boyarkin ended the shootout last night, Gord, on a nice run. 5 straight saves to close out the win. And for Finland, they'll get their first crack at the skills contest.
So on to the shootout. We'll have it for you in a moment. Another close game at the 2021 World Hockey Championship. Another 1-goal game.
Just saw the referees go with a coin toss to decide who got to pick whether or not they finish or shoot first or not. And Kazakhstan won the toss. It looked like they said they were going to go first.
Statistically an advantage to do so. You're the
play in the
guy.
lead, and perhaps there's some pressure there. So we'll see how this goes. Boyarkin was good late. A lot of shooting for Kazakhstan last night. A lot of players electing to shoot with success initially. So we'll see if they...
Starchenko shot twice.
The challenge is you can overthink it as a player. You know, you do your first move, you go and shoot, you score, whatever it might be. Then to go again, you're thinking, do I go to the same one that just worked?
Right.
Or is he thinking I'm going to go to the same one, so I'll do something different? You start...
Mihalis also shot twice. They were both one and one rather. So the first shooter for Kazakhstan will be Shin, who led things off last night and scored. So away we go in the shootout. Shin on Sathari. Well, backhand, and Southbury gets a piece of that.
He had a lot of net to shoot at. Slows it down, goes back, short side, hard pull, and just flips the top of the pad.
Turunen for Finland. Where Finland backhand shot, he's turned away. So Boyarkin has now stopped 6 in a row in the shootout.
Turunen coming with speed, and the puck gets on edge. This little backhand scoop becomes much tougher when you don't have a clean puck to work with.
Same order so far for Kazakhstan. Volk will go. He did not score on his attempt last night. In on Sathari. Holds, little move, scores. What a move that was.
The patience. He gets back to the forehand, but he allows himself to drift a little further away from the net. Give himself a little more room right here. Just a little pause, and whew, that is upstairs.
Now Finland will go with the defenseman, Oliver Kaski. Teams practice this a lot.
A lot.
In comes Kaski. Shoots and scores.
That's why he goes, I guess. Keeps it simple. Right-hand shooter. Crisscrossing, slows down. Nothing fancy. Over the pad, inside the post. Snipe it quick. Tough save to make.
So the coach's son, Mihalis, scored his first attempt last night. Missed on his second. Here's his third attempt at the World Championship already. Mihalis in, shoots and scores.
Virtually the same move as Koski, but the other side. Instead of going blocker, goes glove, stops, cuts across, puck way out in front of you, and if you can hit the spot above the pad, below the glove, there's room there.
So Arto Ruotsalainen.
He's got a nice hand. You watch him even in warm-up. He's got smooth hands.
Even the shootout at 2. Ruotsalainen, oh, rolls off his stick. He had him.
He went with the bean pot, Tony Amante special slam on the brakes, and Boyarkin wasn't biting. Had that post wedged quickly.
So Starchenko, this is the exact same order as last night. Scored his first attempt, missed on his second. This to give Kazakhstan a 3-1 lead in the shootout. And he does.
Satarai having a hard time with these shots. They're coming so slow, he just ends up standing still. Not a lot of athleticism to his movement when they shoot it.
And now, on his 29th birthday, Jari Karjalainen's got a score to keep Finland alive. Karjalainen moves in, and he's stopped by Boyarkin, and Kazakhstan has won its second straight shootout. There's some confusion on the bench, but yes, they have won.
They're trying to run the numbers right now on the Kazakhstan bench.
Yes,
are we done?
Yes, you won.
Boys, you're done. As Karjalainen tries to get a 5-hole. Boyarkin, the shootout hero again.
So Boyarkin's celebrating in the crease. His teammates are looking at each other saying, did we win?
I'm the hero. Come on now, boys.
Wow.
That is good stuff. And what a start to the tournament for Kazakhstan. 2 games, 2 shootout wins.
And Boyarkin has stopped 8 of the last 9 shots he's faced in the shootout. Kazakhstan is 2-0. Finland 1-1. Wow.
Did not see this coming. Similar kind of recipe for Kazakhstan. Outplayed, outshot, but hanging around.
Final shots were 51-19 in favor of Finland. And Nikita Boyarkin will get a much-deserved day off tomorrow. Kazakhstan will play the United States on Tuesday. Finland will play Norway that day.
Players of each team will be awarded with the official watch by Tissot, official timekeeper of the 2021 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. Labākais Suomijas izlases spēlētājs. The best player for Team Finland. Number 12, number 12, Marko Anttila.
Anttila had a good game. Puck a lot of shots on net. That's an extra big strap for him.
Kazakhstānas izlases labākais spēlētājs numur 30. Best player of Team Kazakhstan, number 30, Nikita Boyarkin.
See, he's got enough energy to skate over there.
Yeah.
He would be exhausted.
He'll have watches up to his elbow by the time this tournament's over. This keeps up.
Kazakhstānas valsts himnai. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Team Kazakhstan. Paldies par uzmanību. Šī spēle ir noslēgusies. Nākamā Starptautiskās hokeja federācijas 2021. gada pasaules hokeja čempionāta spēle notiks šeit, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance. The 2021 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship will continue today in Arena Riga at 8:50 p.m. with the game between Team Canada and Team USA.
Curtis, coming off of a challenging 8-round shootout win against Latvia last night, you pushed Finland to the shootout as well, are now 2-0. Just how confident as a team are you feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. You know, both games were hard-fought games. Our goalie obviously played amazing today. We're going to need that going forward, but we stuck to our game plan, and I think that's what led us to be successful tonight.
You mentioned your goalie. How integral was Nikita Boyorkin in this victory today?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, anytime you give up 48 or 49 shots or something like that, and he, lets one in, it's pretty amazing. And we're going to need that going forward. There's a lot of good teams in this tournament, and we just have to keep it simple and, try to play our best hockey.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Curtis.
How about technology for today that helps with life, with love, with our friends and families? Technology that helps us to find joy. All those things that make life, life, and us human.
Anton, you outshot Kazakhstan 49-15 in regulation, ultimately before overtime in the shootout. What did you think of your team's scoring chances today?
We had enough of scoring chances, and we have to score more goals. That's simple as that.
Your assessment of Kazakhstan's goalie performance today, Nikita Bryorkin, how difficult was he to get the goal past?
Yeah, he was pretty good. You can see from the scoreboard, like, he was outstanding today.
Thank you.
Thank you.